Hi, I'm Eddie Aliff, your missionary, working for VAIB, the Virginia Assembly of Independent Baptists. My wife, Carol, is my partner in this ministry. We live about 20 minutes north of Richmond, and for those of you whom I have not met, we are parents and grandparents. Our three children are grown and on their own, and they've blessed us with three grandchildren. As many of you know, our mission at the VAIB is advancing the rights, values, and liberties for churches in Virginia. To accomplish this mission, this ministry strengthens, educates, and involves the pastors and people of independent Baptist churches in Virginia. Strengthening involves creating awareness of issues impacting churches and building strategic relationships with those in government. During the months of January through March, I am at the General Assembly working to influence legislation to ensure that policies that would negatively impact our communities are addressed. Educate involves informing you on the issues that are impacting churches, especially in the area of our religious liberties. This is done by sending monthly newsletters, emails, traveling to churches to give updates, and hosting our yearly conference on the last Thursday and Friday of September. Involve means working with our churches to be actively engaged in the process. This includes showing up to meetings, signing petitions, and being vocal concerning certain votes. When I present the VAIB, many ask me, how can I be involved? That's a good question. The first thing I need you to do is to sign up to receive our updates, which you can do at vaib.org. When you sign up, you're able to respond and react when I need your support, including your voice with our elected officials. Our voices must be heard on these issues. When there's an issue at the General Assembly, I need your help letting our legislators know that I represent a large group of churches and people. That's why I need you to respond to my Capitol alerts. These are special emails which allow you to contact your legislator when there's an issue at the General Assembly. Additionally, we need to let our voices be heard through the voting process. Some ask, what a typical year looks like for the VAIB. Let me share what keeps us busy. During the first 3 months of the year, I'm at the General Assembly reviewing 3,000 plus pieces of legislation, working on those which impact churches and religious liberties. In addition to reviewing legislation and putting pressure on our elected officials, we also do the following. Speak in churches across Virginia, providing updates on what's occurring in the Capitol. Present the VAIB work to churches who are not currently supporting the VAIB. Develop the annual One Voice for Liberties Conference. And finally, answering questions for pastors and churches. With COVID-19, my wife and I have had, of course, our travel has been restricted. However, churches have relied heavily on the VAIB for advice during this difficult time. Our desire is to ensure that all Virginia churches are strengthened, not weakened through this situation. We've spent a majority of our time assisting churches in analyzing the difficult decisions associated with the pandemic. Many of you have asked, on a personal note, how my wife Carol has been doing since she had her brain tumor removed in December of 2017. Fortunately, the tumor was benign and follow-up scans have been clear. I am so grateful that she's recovered well and continues to help me in the ministry. Serving with her every day is a privilege that I don't take for granted. Since I became executive director in 2010, we've been blessed to have been in nearly 400 churches. We're thankful for the churches which have supported for years and for those who are new to VAIB. Your prayers and financial support are crucial for this work to continue. No matter the circumstances, let's stay faithful to God and be a blessing to others as we have opportunity. Let's show others that our love is not diminished during these difficult times. Carol and I say thank you for being a blessing and look forward to being back with you. Your prayers for me at the General Assembly and for us when we resume traveling to churches are much appreciated. As I finish out this update, I'd like to give an update on the General Assembly. I hope you'll consider visiting with me at the Richmond Capitol during this time to meet your legislator and to see your government at work. Elections in 2019 brought significant changes to Virginia. The new majority controlling the General Assembly passed several bills which VAIB has opposed for decades. The first is non-discrimination protection for sexual orientation and gender identity, Senate Bill 868. Our concern is the ever-changing types of individuals included in this protection. But these areas actually have been protected by federal regulations since 2017 insofar as employment, housing, contracts, and similar areas. Therefore, I'm not convinced that the new law will drastically change our lives on a day-to-day basis or our churches. Could churches which view these lifestyle groups as sin possibly face legal challenges? At this time, we don't believe that there will be any restrictions placed on churches or ministries. Our legal partners stand ready to challenge any restrictions that were to surface. But the bill itself does not directly impact churches or ministries such as schools or daycares. In fact, there's a specific statement saying that places of accommodation do not include churches and religious entities. There are two related areas where impacts could be felt. Public school policies will now include treatment of transgenders and other similar groups. All public schools must have this in place for the 2020-2021 school year. Now, I agree that all individuals deserve proper treatment, but I am concerned that what will eventually be taught is acceptance of these lifestyles. Licensed counselors also cannot use any type of what's called conversion therapy for those who have gender dysphoria or confusion. No counselor is permitted to convince a person away from same-sex attractions or feelings of being a different sex. We don't believe there will be any impact, though, for pastors who are unlicensed counselors and religious counselors who counsel according to their values. VAIB was successful in ensuring that the exemption for religious institutions was placed in this bill, protecting churches and Christian ministries from this new legislation. A second area is the weakening of abortion regulations. It was House Bill 980 and Senate Bill 733. Many preliminary procedures and processes have been removed, such as an ultrasound, the 24-hour waiting period, and facility requirements for hospitals. First trimester abortions can now be done by doctors and qualified nurse practitioners. But I'm thankful no changes were made to the informed consent or that second and third trimester abortions must still be done in hospitals. Fortunately, no changes were made for pregnancy resource centers, and the VAIB fought to make sure that pregnancy resource centers can continue to operate as they have been operating. Gambling was expanded in Virginia by allowing for casinos, sports betting, and even the electronic gaming machines that are found in some truck stops and convenience stores. 5 cities will be permitted to have referendums to bring in a casino: Bristol, Danville, Richmond, Norfolk, and Portsmouth. I predict there will be more crime and declining property values in and around casinos, and it's doubtful that the new job opportunities will do much to reduce local unemployment. The church, though, does have a responsibility. We need to continue this fight as we work to help individuals through the transformative power of God in their lives. Decriminalizing possession of 1 ounce of marijuana also passed this year. Now, this change simply means that if you have 1 ounce or less of marijuana, it will now be a civil fine and not a criminal offense. However, there is no change for a person caught selling or having more than 1 ounce. It is still a felony crime. My concern is that there will be this perception which will increase the usage of marijuana and create more problems for those in society. It is still under federal law considered a class 1 drug like heroin, and the penalties under federal law are still the same. The transfer of daycare regulations to the Department of Education now means that children from birth to 18 will be under the purview of this department. Assurances have been given by those in the department that there will be no change as to how religious exempt daycares will be treated. In fact, I'm pleased that legislation passed to clarify staffing ratios for mixed age groups, which was causing some confusion by those who were inspecting our daycares. However, the VAIB's work in ensuring that exempt daycares will not be handled differently is a win in this matter, as we work to continue to protect the wins that were made long ago in this area. I want to remind you that our General Assembly is only a part-time group. They meet in January through March. I continue to represent VAIB during this time, reviewing thousands of bills to influence those which impact churches and religious liberties. Then I keep you informed as to what these bills will do and what changes to expect. Time and again, pastors call me with questions. Now VAIB has the legal resources to help should your church need it. In times of uncertainty, the gospel does not change. Thankfully, churches are still unhindered in preaching the gospel and carrying out their work and ministering to those in their care. As I close out this update, please feel free to contact me with questions or comments. You can do so at ealif@vaib.org. Thank you for your prayers and your financial support. God bless.